Hello Math 8 students. Thank you for being so patient. I am sorry this video is coming so late in the day on Monday, but what can I say? It's been a full day. So I appreciate your flexibility. Let's start with a prayer. Father in heaven, we just thank you for this time. I just pray for my students that you would help them to learn well, to understand the material, and do excellent on their next test. And I pray that you'd strengthen me and help me right now to be the very best teacher I can be. And Lord, I'm so thankful for your promises, Psalm 91, that keeps us safe. All of your promises are so precious to us, Lord, that we can rest in your presence and trust you with all of our lives. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, well now what we're going to do today is lesson 10.7. Attached to the email that I sent you is this worksheet. I'm not sure if it will focus well, but it's the one attachment. And what I need you to do is cut it out, and you need 3 of them. They have to all be identical, so you want to cut them out. Now what I did was I like fun colored paper. So I have 3 of them here in 3 different colors. So why don't you go ahead and pause the video and print your 3 pyramids and tape them together. So we'll go ahead and pause right now. Not my cameraman, just you guys. Okay, so we're back. Now, if you have all 3 of them, what I want you to try to do is to put them together so that they make a cube. So I want you to pause the video again. Take all 3 of your pyramids that you constructed here and put them together to form a cube. I'm having trouble being in focus. There we go. It's a mirror image for me that I'm looking at. All right, so go ahead and pause the video again and come back in a few minutes and see if you can put them together and tape them together. Okay, so let's see if you did it. How I put these together is I take one, here's the green one, and I put 2 of the same sides together like that. And so that's 2 parts out of 3, and then the third one fits right on top like this. So you can see I've got 3 pyramids together that make a cube. Now why this is important is that today we're discovering what the volume is of a pyramid. Now right here I have a cube, and if I was going to calculate the volume of this cube, I would use, let's see if I can hold it all together. I would say the base times the height times the length. So all 3 sides. 3 dimensions. 1, 2, 3, like this. Okay? And that would give me the volume of this whole shape. But I don't want that. What I want is one of these. Just one. This is a pyramid. So the formula for a volume of a pyramid is what? It is the volume of the cube times 1/3. It's only 1/3 of a cube. So every pyramid that you can create can be multiplied by 3 and changed into a cube. Every one of them. So that's where the formula comes from. When I'm learning math, I always like to know why, and that helps me to learn and remember. Okay, so let's actually use this in class. So go ahead and get a piece of paper out. We're going to take some notes. I'm going to get my overhead ready for you, my projector, and we're going to actually use this. Okay, it's connecting. Here we go. Okay, so this is lesson 10.7. All right. So let's write out that theorem. The volume of a pyramid is 1/3 area of the base times height. Okay, so if I had, let's look at that. If I had a pyramid here, and I draw dashes in the back to make it 3D. Okay. So when I'm looking at this, I have the area of the base. So that is, just like on my cube, it would be length times width here. So you see you have a base area. That's what the big B stands for. And that is usually a rectangle. Let's see what we do here. It can be, actually it can be anything. I'm about to sneeze. Whew. Okay. So let's say I had this here. And I'm told that this is 30 and this is 30. Now, this is very important. I'm going to draw this in a different color. The height comes down on the inside. It's perpendicular from the point of my pyramid to the base. Do you see that? It comes down here in the middle. You have to be very careful with that. It's not on the outside. The height is on the inside. All right? So my base area in this case is a square, so it's going to be side times side. Now what happened if I had a pyramid like this? I'm going to draw that differently. Hang on. What shape do I have there? On the bottom, I have a triangle. Do you see that? So the base area would have a formula of 1/2 base times height, because that's the area of a triangle. So it depends on what the shape is on the bottom. Now what if I had a cone? Like this. My base area would be a circle, which is pi r squared. Okay? So B can have many different shapes. It could have a square, it could have a rectangle, I didn't show that one, it could have a triangle or a circle. So depending on what the base is, then you have to use the formula for that base and multiply it by the height. Now just so you know, right here, this height would come down in there, and this height would come down in the middle there.
Someone cooking bacon?
Someone is not cooking bacon, Nicole.
Smells like bacon outside.
That's okay. Life at home. We do love bacon in this house. I'm just saying. We had chili made with bacon the other night. Ask your mom to make that for you. It's the best thing in the world. If I get any requests, my husband has the recipe. It's amazing. If you can get a hold of bacon and ground beef in the grocery store. If you want bacon and ground beef, say a prayer. God will give it to you. Okay, so let's go back to this problem here. I've got up here, I've got 30 times 30. Let's finish that one, all right? So my formula, I'm going to kind of squeeze it in here. Volume equals 1/3 base area times height. So I'm going to have the volume is 1/3. Now the base area is s squared, so that would be 30 times 30. And that would give me 900, right? 30 times 30 is 900. It's a square. So I have 900, and the height, I did not tell you yet, is 15. So I would put 15 in there. Okay. If I multiply 1/3 times 900, I would get 300. And I multiply that by 15, and I get 4,500. And that would be, let's see, if my units were meters. Now this would be meters cubed because I have volume. I've got 3 dimensions: length times width times height. Okay, that's a little messy in there, but that's my answer. Circling an answer can do wonders. All right. Let's go on to another one. How about number 2? Find the volume of the pyramid. Okay, here's our picture. Okay. This is 24. This is 10. And I have a right angle there. And my height is drawn in here. And that is 12. Chris? Chris, are you there? Guess not. Okay, so here's my picture. Now, what shape do I have in the bottom? I'm going to change colors. What shape do I have? I have a triangle. So that is a triangular prism. So my base area, remember here's my formula. My base area is 1/2 base times height because the base is a triangle. Now, I know that 24 is the base and 10 is the height. Why? Because I have a right angle symbol there. You have to have the base and the height perpendicular to each other. Otherwise, you won't know which one is the base and which one is the height. All right? So let's figure that out. The base, 1/2, 24 times 10. And if I multiply those, I get 1/2 of 24 is 12, times 10 is 120. Let's call this centimeters. So that's centimeters squared. Now I'm going to put that in the formula. The volume is 1/3 base area times the height. Now, the base is the shape that's on the bottom. So the height going up is going to be what is between the base area and the top of my pyramid. So that's why 12 is here. So I'm going to have the volume is 1/3 times 120, which is 40, times 12, which is 480 centimeters cubed. That's a little easier to read. Okay, I'm going to change colors again. We're going to have number 3. All right. Now, let's write out a problem. many Native American tribes built teepees that were similar to a cone. A teepee has a height. Someone's in the kitchen getting something to eat. Who could it be? I think it's my husband. Find the volume. Okay. So we have a teepee that's in the shape of a cone. So we know the shape there, and that helps me to know it's a 3D pyramid. A cone is just a pyramid with a circle on the bottom. So I'm going to use my 1/3 base area times the height. And we want to know how much space is inside. That would be interesting if you had a height of 12 feet. Okay, did they give us any? Oh, I'm sorry. And the base diameter, I was wondering about this. The base diameter is 12 feet also. That's not very big, is it? Just think about this. If your dad is 6 feet tall, his head would be on the ground in the middle and his feet would be on the outside edge near the teepee itself. And then 6 feet in the other direction. That's not a very big space to live in. But, you know, they learned and that was their way of life and that was comfortable for them. Okay, so the base diameter is 12. So that means the 12 is right here below the center dot. Okay, so my base area is going to be pi r squared because I have a circle. So I'm going to have pi, and if the diameter is 12, then my radius is 6. I need the radius to figure this out. So I'm going to have 36 pi, which is, let me see, (36 times 3.14). That is 113.04. Okay. Now I'm going to put that in the formula. 1/3 times 113.04 times the height. Now the height is the perpendicular distance, and in the problem above we know that's 12 also. So I'm going to have 1/3 times 113.04 times 12. All right. So when I'm figuring out stuff like this, I can see that 1/3 times 12 is a whole number. So I'm going to do that first because that's a lot easier. That is 4. And when I multiply 4 times 113, I get about 452.39. And this is feet cubed. So that is the amount of space that's inside. Interesting that a teepee is 12 feet tall and 12 feet wide. I guess they would want a lot of space for, who knows why they did that. That'd be an interesting question, wouldn't it? A lot of space for the smoke to come up, because remember they had fires inside to keep warm. All right. I want you to do a couple OIOs. There is someone at the door. Chris, can you answer, please? So I want you to find the volume.
Hi.
And there's the dog walking away. Here's the first one. I want you to do. Hey, Rosie. 8 by 8 inches. And coming down in the middle here, this height is 9. Okay, that's number 1. And number 2, I want you to find the volume of a cone with a radius of 24 meters and a height of 18 meters. No picture this time. Okay, so go ahead and do those 2. You can pause the video right here and I'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. Let's go over these. So the volume is going to be 1/3 base area times the height. And the base area is a square, so that's 8 times 8, which is 64 inches squared. So then I have a volume of 1/3 times 64, and my height is 9. So when I figure this out, 1/3 of 9 is 3, and 3 times 64 is 192 inches cubed. That's my answer. Okay, now if I want to find the volume of a cone with these dimensions, I'm going to find the base area, which is pi r squared, and I know the radius is 24. So 24 squared is 576 pi. And that turns out to be 576 times 3.14, and that is 1808.64. Okay. So now my volume is 1/3 times 1808.64, and my height was 18. Doesn't that work out nice? So 1/3 times 18 is 6. And if I multiply 6 times 18.08, I get 10,857.34 meters cubed. So that's my answer. Alrighty, well that's it for Monday. That's all we're doing. If we were in class, we would have cut out everything and put it together and discovered the formula for the volume of a pyramid. And your homework is in the email. So have a great night and a great Tuesday. I'll be back probably on Wednesday with more information and more math. Have a great night. Bye now.